Yes, I do in fact read all the comments you guys put down below, and here is a perfect example. So Ryan says, does anyone know the difference between the single cable carb and the dual cable carb? He's actually referring to a Yamaha Big Bear. I thought I knew the answer. Turns out I didn't. So we're gonna dive into my own Big Bear and find out exactly what those two cables do, because I've got a dual cable setup on this one. And you're probably also wondering, what the heck is Rick wearing a stethoscope for? Well, I am a toy doctor after all, and I got this stethoscope from my daughter because she's an aspiring doctor. She wants to be a doctor later on, and she thought it was kind of cool. And I'm actually going to be able to put this in use today, because the other thing we're going to be doing with the Big Bear is determining what this really weird crunching noise is coming from. And we're going to dive right into that after this intro. So what was that, like take number 5?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so let's dive right into that weird noise I was talking about. I'm just going to roll the bike back and forth. Hopefully my microphone will pick it up a little bit better, but I'm going to kind of be quiet about it and just rolling it back. Listen. I mean, other than the tires making the noise, you guys hear that snap, crackle, and pop? It's almost like we got some Rice Krispies stuck in here somewhere, but it ain't that. Definitely not that. I just gave it a good wash. One more time. Yeah, so not exactly sure what that's all about, but we're going to get to that in a minute, because I am really curious as to what is going on with this dual carb setup. So as far as I know, this carburetor has never been removed in many years. If you guys aren't familiar with this quad, it's been in my family right from day one. My grandfather bought this quad brand new, and it now belongs to me. But going back to the cables, there's the one cable, and that goes in, well, I guess into the side here, but it definitely isn't the choke, because this is the choke lever. And then on the top, we've got another cable going into the top. So I think what I want to do is I'm just going to loosen it off, just so I can gain access to this cable on the side, probably behind this plastic, because we already know what the one on top is doing. That's for your slide. That's pretty obvious. But what is the other one doing? Alright, so we're going to remove the 4 screws that are holding the plastic side cover on. And I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but in order to try and help out Ryan, I decided to take a look into the parts diagram, because I thought maybe that fiche would have some information regarding what that other cable does. No bueno, it did not do anything. So this is why we're diving into this. Alright, so, whoa. Alright, so let's pull this cap off. Oh no, there's another one. And there's another one. Okay, now she's loose. Okay, there's not 4, there's actually 6 screws holding this in. What are we gonna find behind this mysterious black panel? And why so many screws holding it? Okay, well, that's interesting. So if I hit the throttle, and we take a look at the linkage here, they work together. So this is, I guess, a combination of a butterfly and a slide. So now we know, Ryan. I think it's a hybrid carb. I mean, I think it does both. That is interesting. Ryan did also mention in one of his later comments that the new carb he purchased has some linkages or something like that that only has one carb cable, and you just use the one. But there you have it. I hope that helped out someone out there that was wondering this exact question. But I didn't know that was how it was set up. It's kind of neat. But I can tell you 100% that this is a slide on the top, and it just comes right up, and it pulls the needle up. Because that's what's in the diagram. So, cool. I guess let's move on to that noise. All right, so just to show you guys exactly what the top cable is, here on the parts fiche, you can tell it's like I was saying, it goes right down to a slide. But then if we go down a little bit further and we look at the rest of the carburetor, we can see the cable going into here. However, there is no indication of what it does inside. So there you have it. This is, of course, right from the Yamaha website, so it should be as accurate as it can be. All right, this won't hurt one bit. Tell me where you make noise. Oh, you guys hear that? That's like super clear now. Now that I got up in the air and I'm rotating, and it stops. Oh. That's the reason why we stopped using it this summer, because the girls were driving it around and they said they heard something odd. So that's definitely odd. So I'm actually going to throw these on. I'm going to start listening to some various things. I think it might be coming from the differential U-joints. Hopefully not the actual differential, because that would just be devastating to me, since I just did a service on it and they all came out beautifully. That'll be in the description as well, because I'm going to make a link to all the videos on this machine. Alright, so I'm actually going to listen to... Ow, that hurts my ears. Okay, so I'm actually going to be listening to the front differential. Oh, that's so weird to hear. I can hear the gears meshing. Oh, there's that big crunch coming. Well, good news, I didn't hear that crunch inside the differential. So let's move on further back here and maybe listen to... This is the 90-degree gearbox that goes to... I gotta take this off, I can't even hear myself. This is the 90-degree gearbox that splits the power from front to back. So I gotta put this back on now. Listen to that box and see if there's anything weird. I'd like to know if there's a way you guys can hear this, because it's kind of cool. No, I just hear the gears meshing again. So if we move down, I don't know if that's going to help at all, but I really think it's in the drivetrain, obviously. So I'm going to put it right on the cover, right here. There's a big U-joint in the front there, and a U-joint in the back. Let's see if... Oh, I can... Oh yeah, that's echoing through for sure. Might be where it is. And I'm gonna, you know what? Since I got a microphone now, I wonder if I can make you guys listen to that. Alright, I got you guys on a microphone. Do you guys hear that? Did you hear it? I don't know. Okay. It's just the weirdest setup, but I hope it worked. At least I tried, guys. So let's move towards the back. I really think it's at the front, but let's check out the back. Make use of these things because they're kind of cool. And how are you feeling back here? No, super quiet in here. Yeah. Actually, it sounded, it kind of echoed, like, I mean, without the stethoscope on it. It kind of sounded like it was on this side. Just without using the stethoscope, let's see if... Oh. Is it maybe just a wheel bearing? Oh, that's super tight on this one. No play here. We got a bit of a tie rod play. A little bit there. What about the front here? Oh, okay. Well, that wheel bearing is definitely got some play. But I still don't think that's what it is. I don't know what it is. Actually, as a matter of fact, can you hold that wheel? So we're gonna try and maybe spin them backwards. Yeah, see? If we just spin the front, you're holding that one? Mm-hmm. Hold it from turning. There you go. Oh, what is turning? Oh, the back is still turning though. Okay, so that's not eliminating anything. I think we should put this away, and we're going to remove that cover and see what the U-joints look like. Alright, so we got one little guy, or you just throw it on the ground like that. So let's get some light into that area and see what it looks like. Alright, so it's looking like we have found our culprit, our crackle, snapple, and popple. Yeah. I'm not sure if you guys see that, but the U-joint is somewhat coming apart. Still moving, but it's pretty stiff. Oh, actually, there it is. You can see this one coming apart right here. Let me get my hand in here and see if I can. Oh, yeah. That's what it is. Look at all that sadness. Okay. Destruction. Unfortunately, you can't grease these, because if you could, probably would last twice as long. And it's one of those things. While you're in there, you may as well look at the other one. This one's got quite the angle on it. I'm not sure why they would do that, because I think the one that's behind here doesn't have nearly as much angle, but we're going to check it out anyways, and we're going to check out the price of both of them, and I might just change both of them. So maybe if we want to use it for the rest of the summer, it might have to be two-wheel drive. Has anybody tried that? Pulling them out and use it the way it is without the U-joints for a little bit? I don't know if that's a good thing. So we got the other guard removed, and I was talking to my camera person while we was just wrenching away here, and I think she's hungry because she kept talking about cereal, and because I guess I mentioned Kellogg's or Rice Krispies, and we were talking about different cereal. So actually, just interestingly enough, comment down below, what's your favorite cereal? I kind of like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I also like, Frosted Flakes. There's actually a few that I really like. I'm not really a big cereal person, but anyways. Let's not make some messes here. How am I going to get this back in here? Actually, you know what? Maybe I don't need to remove the whole thing. So let's take a breath here. Maybe I can just inspect with what is there. Because if it's not damaged, I might not be replacing it. So let's grab a light. After looking at it with some light, what an awkward position. Oops, there it falls again. Come on. Okay. Still can't get in there. Look at this thing. My arm's in the way. Sorry, camera person. And can you see it now? Yes. You see all that play? I'm not leaving that in there, because that's going to be the next failure point. So we're going to order 2 U-joints, and we're going to figure out how we're going to remove the existing ones. So that should be fun. Well, I guess I'm wiggling this guy out of here no matter what, because that whole thing's coming apart. Ooh, that's nasty. Ew. We're going to clean that up. We're going to clean all the shields up. But I think we're going to remove some of there's a couple of little boots here. We're going to pull those back. And hopefully there's a little circlip in there that allows the drive shaft to kind of like shrink on itself. Because there's 2 nice yokes here that we got to pull apart. Otherwise, we're going to have to smash them out. Alright, so if you remove the little boot, there's a boot right up here to get these lines out of the way. You slide that back, what you'll find is there's a spline with a spring, and that's being held in place with a circlip. So we're going to remove this circlip over here. That should help alleviate some of the spring pressure. And then there's also the same boot back here, and that should help that whole drive shaft slide right out and then give us some access to removing the yokes or the actual universal joint. Okay, so it turns out that even if you remove the spring and all that other stuff, you still can't slide this out, right? Because there's just not enough spline. So the only way to get these out is with quite literal brute force and ignorance, and we're gonna have to smash these cups out. So you basically got to push one cup in all the way down, and then once you get the one cup inside, it usually pushes the other one out. Then if you grab a pair of pliers, you pull that one out, and then you do the opposite on the other side. So we're gonna go get some safety glasses, a big hammer, and start smashing away. Oh yeah, that's gonna be awesome. Oh, that's starting to make sense. I forgot to remove the clip. So there's a clip, there's an internal clip on these ones. So there's two different style of U-joints, two different styles of locking the U-joints in place, and one of them, the clip is on the outside where you can remove it with a screwdriver fairly easily. This one here, if you want to zoom in here, it's actually on the inside, right there. You know, you can never seem to get the light in the right place. There we go. And here we go. Sweet. There's one clip. And only 7 more to go because there's 8 to remove. Where did they go? Oh, there's one of them. So at this point now, I should be able to hit this part of the universal joint down, because then it's going to come through and it's going to allow me to remove this cap, and then I'm going to remove another clip. I guess really you don't have to remove every one of them. It just makes it easier if you do. So I'm going to meet you back here when I have one of these removed, because it's going to take a lot of smashing. And about an hour later, this is what we're left with. So over on the left here, this is the front U-joint. I had to cut this one off. I'll get to that in a minute. And this is the rear one. So yeah, these have definitely seen better days. Got some carnage going on for sure. And actually, if we look through some of these little flat rollers here that are inside one of these cups, you can tell like this guy is broken in half. Look at that, we got a little bug crawling around too. So that's definitely, it was a good thing that we were changing them now. And of course, I'm sorry I cut out a lot of this part of the video, you know, me smashing away on these. I'm trying to keep it PG here, guys. I mean, I swore profusely many times. It was definitely not a fun job. But if I had to do it again and I had to offer some suggestions for the next guy, is to line yourself up kind of like this, push the one cap all the way in, and then that's going to push the other one on the opposite side out. Give yourself another turn. So go back over here and then grab a pair of locking pliers, pull out the cap, and then you're going to be left with the nub over here. So it's going to be kind of like in the cross, set up kind of like this. And then you're going to push on the center here to do the same thing on the other side. Push the other cap on the other side, pull it out, and then you should be able to get the drive shaft free. So that's how I did it, and it worked out pretty good. At least on the back side, that's how I did it back here. Had no issues, didn't have to cut anything out. But that's why I had to cut it out in the front, because I did one, turned it 90 degrees, did the next one, everything jammed up, couldn't get it out. And yeah, so that's how that worked out. I'm going to end up having to order some of these parts, guys, because I can guarantee you the store doesn't have them in stock. However, if they do have them in stock, I'm going to try and finish this video. But in the event they don't, I'm going to end it here. And of course, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to catch you guys all in the next video. Wait, before you go, there's one more piece of information I want to give you regarding these U-joints. If you're like me and you have to cut one out, be aware that Yamaha does not sell just a U-joint. Just found it out. I just checked on my fiche, the parts fiche, and if you're like me and you got this cut, you're gonna have to go aftermarket. If you want OEM, Yamaha sells the cups, or what they call bearings, separately, so you can get all four individually, or the entire yoke assembly with the bearing pressed in. So I didn't price any of those parts because I just decided to go aftermarket. Just thought you guys would like to know. Catch you next time.